Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds, where we bring the latest Liverpool news and transfer news and much, much more. On tonight's stream, we're going to be talking about a certain man, Alexander Isak, again. I mean, it won't go away. It won't go away. These reports, right, and these links. And before Newcastle fans, I'm sure Newcastle fans might be joining us tonight because a few replied to the tweet, a few have been on the TikTok again, as per. I think they're getting a little bit mixed up here. They actually think Liverpool fans think we're actually definitely going to get Isak, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're going to talk about the reports, going to talk about the news, going to talk about the links between Liverpool and Isak. But what I will say about the Isak thing is the reports are getting stronger, Naj. They're getting stronger and stronger, and the links aren't going away. And we know when it comes to Liverpool players and transfers, it gets shut down quite quickly if they're not an idea, for example. So we're going to talk about Alexander Isak. We're also going to be talking about Tyler Morton's future, Quansah potentially going as well, Diaz and Bayern Munich, and also a little bit on Newcastle potentially going for RV Elliott. So we could be looking at Alexander Isak that way, potentially. Train Ione has also signed a new contract at the club as well. And we're also going to be speaking about, so I wanted to speak about tonight was the Club World Cup and what Klopp said about the Club World Cup, and then what Sky Sports have said about the Klopp, and then Pep Guardiola has given his thing as well. So Mark is in. Good evening, Mark. How are you doing? Hi, guys. Hope you're well. Isak wants to leave. If true, it does seem like now. Should we kick off with Isak, or should we save it?
Who?
Isak.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I don't. Newcastle fans, let me know if you are in the chat. Who is this Isak guy? He's a good player. But yeah, let me get on with Isak then. Let me get on with today's report, and that is Di Marzio, Italian football reporter, obviously. Quite reliable, usually good, very good for Italian football, certainly. But he has said today, I think Liverpool want Alexander Isak and Victor Osimhen too. For Isak, it depends on Newcastle because the player talked to the coach and the club at the end of the season that he would like to leave Newcastle. But Newcastle are not open to that at the moment. So it depends on Newcastle and Isak's situation. If the club will open to having him on the market, Newcastle is a tough club and they want to keep their best players. Isak would like to look at other options because at the end of the season, he had the promise from the club and the coach that Newcastle haven't acted seriously on that yet. And this is what I've been saying for quite a while now, Naj, regarding this saga. And that's what it is right now. It is a saga. And I think it's going to go on a lot longer than what it is. It all lies on Newcastle and Isak and their talks. And if their talks do break down at some point, Liverpool will jump on it.
I don't even think it's just that, though, is it really? Like, you know, I've tried to... I mean, I've said this multiple times. I've said it on air and I've said it to people who follow me. I've got a lot of Newcastle followers. And I have a relationship with them. I chat to them a lot and stuff like that. And they're very mixed on what they think about Isak, of him leaving and stuff like that. They're all ultimately on the fact that they want him to stay. And I think that is something that you would want. I mean, you'd be daft if you didn't want that. I think it just comes down to a few things. I've tried to, section it into stuff. So, I think if Isak wants to go, that's going to be the main talk with Eddie Howe and stuff like that. Eddie Howe's going to try and convince him into staying at the club and the project and stuff like that. Then there's the other side of it where, you know, the pressure from his agent could come into play. You know, if he signs this new bumper contract at Newcastle, it'll only be 150,000. Rumours are 180 max, I think. You know, Liverpool can offer more than that without it being an issue. You know, like we said, Trent's gone. That's a big contract. Thiago and Matip last year, they were big contracts as well. Nunes is going to go. That's another big contract. So Liverpool have got the money there and that. And then the other thing is, really the third point is the pressure from Liverpool and the media. Like, there's so much talk about it. There's so much noise about it. He's going to see that. I don't care who you are, what football you are. You're going to see anything on social media now or on the news. It's on Sky Sports News. You know, it's everywhere. It's on TalkSport. There's just so many different. There's them 3 different points I would say that could contribute into him making a decision on what he wants to do. I'm still ultimately on the fact that Newcastle hold all the cards, but at the same time, if he wants to go, if he wants to move, he can. He's in that position that he can force that hand, and with his agent as well, obviously.
And we don't expect probably Isak to even force it. Like I don't know if he's the kind of person to answer the transfer question, but you don't need to do that. Has anyone watched remember when the Tottenham documentary was out and we saw Christian Eriksen wanted to go to Inter Milan? He went in the dress. He went in the Jose Mourinho's office and spoke with Daniel Levy and Jose Mourinho and said, "Look, I do want to go." And they said, they were saying, "Look, and if they offer you the right amount, if they do offer up the money, then we'll happily let you go if you want to go to Inter Milan. We don't want you to go. You're a key part of what we're doing. But if until they offer what they need to offer, then you're gonna have to stay here, and it's not our fault." And he's like, it's not your fault. You've got to. At the end of the day, everyone has their price.
Yeah.
And if Liverpool are willing to pay up the money for an Alexander Isak, for example, then it makes a situation for Isak and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Do Newcastle? I'm not saying stand in his way because I think they've got a good thing at Newcastle. Let me get that straight. But if that chance is there for him to go for the Premier League champions, go and challenge for titles, go challenge for Champions Leagues, then what's to say that he can't do that? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I just want to make a big point on something actually at the minute, which I think might force Newcastle's hand as well. Out of my 3 points, what I just said, Newcastle are really struggling, and I mean what they're really struggling in. They can't sign anyone. They're missing out on targets. João Pedro's just gone to Chelsea. That was their main man to come in. Elanga, there's not much noise around that anymore. And I thought Mbeumo was dead set on going to Newcastle at the end of the season. It looks like he might even stay at Brentford now.
João Pedro looked pretty much Newcastle bound.
Yeah, he was literally Newcastle bound. That got hijacked. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. Maybe there's one or two more that they've gone in for and they've not been able to get them. They haven't signed a single player so far, Newcastle.
They got Trafford over the line, didn't they?
But is it over the line yet?
Yeah, I think it is. It pretty much is. I'm sure it is.
But that's one player. But is it 20 million or something?
Something like that, yeah.
But apart from that, they did need to strengthen the goalkeeper department. But there's so many different areas of that team that need to be strengthened, whether it be in depth or in starters. I think Jacob Murphy had a really strange season last season. He was really good, but can he do that again? I don't think so. They've obviously got Harvey Barnes and Gordon. I think they're sufficient for the left side. But you look outside of the main starting 11, it's not a great squad. We'll go through it now if you want, and let's have a look. I think we should go through it. I think this is sort of give Newcastle fans a bit more of what we're coming from in terms.
Yeah. Let's go for the Newcastle squads. I don't know off by out. I know the first team off by out. I know a couple of backup players, but yeah, let's get the squad up then.
I want to be as fair as possible to
Yeah.
Of why we're saying that it could be a good thing for Isak. It's not, but it is at the same time because
and I think one second before I do look at the squad entirely, I just want to bring up some JF, obviously a Newcastle fan here. Isak is happy. Newcastle, richest club in the world, on a rapid upward curve, and he has 3 left on his contract. Yawn. The thing is, though, JF, we're not saying that Newcastle are in a bad situation. We've said it many times on the stream, and I want to get this absolutely clear. Newcastle right now is a brilliant place to be. It's a brilliant project. It's certainly one on like you said, the up curve is going up. You got Champions League football last year. You've won the Carabao Cup. I think we know about that. We congratulated you for winning the Carabao Cup. You fully deserved it on the day. But you've got to also understand is Isak is 25, going into 26 now. He's going into his prime years. And if a club like Liverpool, and this is not in trying to offend Newcastle either. No. You've got to realise the difference between a Newcastle and a Liverpool. It's like when Real Madrid and Barcelona come for us. Sometimes we just say that's what it is. I understand that Coutinho wants to go to Barcelona. Barcelona and Real Madrid are bigger clubs than us, but I think Newcastle we're a lot bigger club than Newcastle in terms of that gap. So when a club like that comes across and the chance is there to join them, and they've just won the Premier League, then it's hard to turn it down for a player. Especially when that's what he wants to do. Isak should be playing for the biggest clubs in the world right now. How good he is for me probably the most complete striker in world football right now. Certainly the best striker in the Premier League for me, including Haaland. So for someone that's that good, has got to play for the best teams, and if the best teams come for you, then it's hard to say no. But then I also understand, I've also said it many times on here as well. I also understand if he wants to see what it's like another year in Champions League with Newcastle this season. See if they do back their manager, see if they do back Eddie Howe and go this season, try go better. I'll understand if he stays.
Yeah.
Because of how good Newcastle is. But you got to understand that how the situation that Liverpool are in, and when Liverpool want to go get something, Florian Wirtz is an absolute proof of what you need to know how powerful and how attractive Liverpool are. Florian Wirtz, German international, one of the best technical players in world football. Usually, Bayern Munich was in. A German player usually goes Bayern Munich. It's done. Yeah. Liverpool for the hat in is like a Liverpool player.
Yeah.
I'm not without putting Newcastle down. Realize the power and the attraction of Liverpool if they do come in.
This is why I'm saying we'll go through the squad of Newcastle, because ultimately, if it does happen, I'm not trying to convince Newcastle fans here.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if it does happen, yes, you're losing your best player, but Newcastle are the richest club in the world, but like that 150 million PSR movement, right? The players they could sign for that and make their team retain the Champions League spot would make Newcastle better for the next 5 years than them holding on to Isak. Say if they drop out that Champions League spot again, and they get into say they finish 5th next season or 6th, or you don't finish in Champions League spots because the squad's too thin to challenge over 4 competitions. That's what I'm trying to say is the fairest thing possible. Like when we got rid of Coutinho, I mean, a lot of people comparing it to this. When we got rid of Coutinho, at the time we thought, oh my God, we're losing our best player. But ultimately, it made us a better team. It made us a more complete team because we got Alisson in, we got Van Dijk in, and them 2 players coming in transformed us. We had Salah and Mane at the time, and we was brilliant in attack, but the defence wasn't good enough. And then we got them 2 players in, and it really made us, bar one season on the clock, we literally finished in the top 4 out of all them seasons. We won the Premier League in one of them seasons. We won the Champions League. We won the FA Cup. We won that's what I'm trying to say. We won so many trophies after we sold our best players. So I'm saying it's not like a bad thing for Newcastle to get that 150 million for Isak. And that's why I'm saying if you go through the squad of Newcastle, that 150 million would be like unbelievable for them because they could get so many good quality players that help them build up on.
Yeah. So you can have a look at the squad now. So they've got good keeper depth now with Dubravka as well as a keeper option as well. Nick Pope obviously, and then James Trafford's coming in. They've got quite a lot of keepers. 5 keepers already, and that's with Far Trafford. John Ruddy's still there. Dan Burn, obviously, Shah, Lascelles as your centre backs. Lewis Hall, Matt Taggart, and Jamal Lewis is pretty decent left back cover. Right back is Livramento and Trippier, pretty decent there. I think centre back probably need another centre back.
Yeah.
Midfield, then you go into midfield, you got what? Joe Linton, Tonali, Isaac Hayden, Bruno Gomes, Joe Willock, Lewis Miley, Longstaff. I think they're going to look at some point replacing like an Isaac Hayden for example. Also, he's been on loan, isn't it? I think Longstaff. They want to improve really on that midfield. I'd say the depth. Lewis Miley's brilliant. I think Joe Willock's really good on his day. But other than that, it's not Joe Linton to Gomes. That's about it.
Not a midfield that you go. The midfield, the starting midfield. Yes,
unreal.
Champions League midfield. Outside of that, Lewis Miley really, really good. Outside of that, not really. Willock, like you say, Willock has his day. He's good, but
it's on his day. Yeah.
But and then go the front line. I think the front line's very scarce for Newcastle.
Front line. So you got Harvey Barnes and Gordon on the wing. On the left wing, obviously Jacob Murphy's on the right wing. They've got, and then up front, obviously Wilson and Isak and Osler. But he's been on loan, I think, to Sheffield United. So
yeah, I mean, look at this. It's not even look at the state. Look at how thin that attack is, and what I mean by that, Isak's brilliant. Gordon's brilliant. Murphy had a really good season last season. No disputing that.
I'd say Murphy and Barnes are on a par, I'd say, but Murphy probably better because the season that he had.
However, all them players injury prone. Every single one of their players are injury prone up front. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not saying it in a negative way. They are. They literally are. They're all out for just little injuries and stuff like that. And it's if they, for example, let's say they get 150 million for Alexander Isak, right? They could improve a starting right winger with Jacob Murphy as the backup. They could get a new striker in with Oshola as the backup. I think Callum Wilson's going to go, isn't he?
Yeah.
Left wing I think's okay. Like a good quality centre back. Fabian Schär's getting on a bit now. Lascelles, good cover, I suppose. Fourth choice. Botman, he's too injury prone for
If
me.
you get at least 3 or 4 players in there, that's good throughout the squad. That'll give them
players as well. Really high quality players. You could go. You got your keeper now. James Trafford's brilliant. You can go and get your premium winger now. You can go and get your they could get Brian Mbeumo in. I'm saying your Brian Mbeumo is up in the air where he's going to go. They could go Brian Mbeumo and someone else. Even imagine you did a double sweep, Visser and Mbeumo. That is very good. That is a very good move. But I think that's what they need to look at, something like that, because if that does eventually happen, that's what Newcastle will have to do. But I don't know. It's weird because you're saying sell your best player, but
yeah. But it's the exact same situation we was in with Coutinho. So we've been there, we understand it, and we get it. But when we saw Coutinho, we were in the same position as Newcastle.
Yeah.
4th, 5th. Wanting a title winning side. So this is why we don't get it. Well, Kevin said they wrote about Isak and Gordon. Don't get Newcastle fans started with Kevin because they're already kicking off for the Isak links. He forgot Gordon and Isak. But yeah, JF replies here, hi lads. But from our point of view, yes, Liverpool at the top level. How would selling Isak look to Bruno, Tonali, Gordon? It wouldn't look good, would it? Enjoy the show, by the way. Thank you very much, JF, for joining tonight. And this is what I want to say about Newcastle fans as well, JF, because hear us out. It's not like we're out there, people. I've seen Newcastle fans going out TikTok. When every time I talk about Isak on here or on TikTok or whatever, they're always in the comments, they're always saying whether it's insults or whatever. But I've never ever said that we're going to bid for him. I've never ever said that we're going to get him. I've never said that Newcastle are poor, so why would he stay there? They are a respectful club. I absolutely love Newcastle. I love Newcastle fans. They are quite similar to us, the way the fans are. And such a big fan base and such a passionate fan base, but. And again, he says, how would it look to Bruno, Tonali, Gordon? Is how would it look to Salah, Bobby when we sold Coutinho?
Mane as well.
And with the PSR situation as well, obviously Newcastle aren't really buying many because they've got to be very careful of PSR.
Yeah,
they've got to probably look at a big sale at some point. And Isak, unfortunately, is that big sale, and it's awful to say, but look back at, for example, like Van Persie at Man United. Arsenal they couldn't keep him because it's like, what are you gonna offer me? Champions League football every year. That was the team that consistently getting Champions League football. He wanted to fight for the best players in the world, and Van Persie at the time probably one of the best strikers in the world in world football. He wants to go compete at the biggest level, and that is competing for titles. I think Isak can still do it in a couple of years. I think I've always said if Isak goes again another couple of seasons where he's brilliant, I think the interest will still always be there in him. But when a big team like a Liverpool come around right now, it's the same if Barcelona or Real Madrid came around, or even a Man United came around. If they're doing well, for example, if Man United were doing well like we are, if they came around, it's hard to turn down for players like that. He wants to play. He wants to be a winner. Every footballer wants to be at the top, whether you like it or not. Every footballer dreams to be at the top. You do get your loyal ones. Obviously, Gerrard could have gone and win multiple trophies, but he stayed at Liverpool. But Isak's I don't see any loyalty there for Newcastle specifically, if that makes sense. I think he'll do it respectfully. It don't seem the kind of person to put a transfer request in. But what's harming him speaking to them and saying, "Look, I won't mind going to Liverpool,"
Yeah, it's just like I say, we're trying to be as respectful as possible to Newcastle. Like we say, we could be rage baiters and going, "Oh, lad, he's going to sign for us." Oh,
yeah. We could just do it specifically to annoy everyone. Yeah.
I'm not doing that because I don't want to do that. I mean, it was United and we signed one of their players. I mean, what United player we would sign, I don't know. But you know what I'm getting at. If I'd give him shit, but I'm not going to give him. I'm not going to give Newcastle fans shit because they don't deserve it, right? But I think at the minute, I mean, the United fans deserve shit. I think they're the worst season ever, aren't they? But with Newcastle, like, yeah, they are a good project, and there's no disputing that. And they're doing really, really well. But like you said, Damo, like we've said, like everyone said, it's that. It's like I thought of it. We've gone about for months. It's the final piece of the jigsaw for Liverpool, and that's what it is. And what we're looking at now with Liverpool is Van Dijk, Salah. During the last 2 years of the contract, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that side of things. We've got to optimize that and shore up the attack for the next 4 years, 5 years, and that's what Isak does. That's what they're looking at. So, yeah, being respectful to Newcastle. We're not saying anything bad about them. We're just discussing of why it could or would or maybe happen. I am.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have completely ruled it out. And what my point is as well, I don't think it should be completely ruled out. I think, like I said, if there's a slight chance, and here by there's a report here by Graham Bailey, also a reliable journalist, Isak's negotiations coming to a conclusion very soon with Newcastle. Liverpool seem to think there's some sort of light. That's what I'm saying. If there is some sort of light, if the door is just slightly open, Liverpool have usually in the past closed it. In fact, they closed it, double padlocked it. That was Bellingham.
Yeah.
This season, with the Vert thing, they're telling me they're knocking it down.
It's, like the fact with Isak is as well, if he, I think, I'll be totally honest, I think we will put a bid in. But really do think that'll be down to, one, how much we get for Nunes, and two, what wiggle room we can get with Harvey Elliott. Because if they want Harvey Elliott, that's almost like a... So, yeah, I think something will happen. And I think with the interest of Harvey Elliott as well from Newcastle, Liverpool will be like, let's work out some sort of deal here. Because I think that'll be something I'll be keen on.
And they give him a little bit, with Harvey Elliott going the other way, that gives him already a little bit of depth already, without spending the rest of the money.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, yeah. Harvey Elliott, can play numerous positions. I think he'd probably do quite well in the Newcastle team, to be honest, because there's a lot of runners around him. And you could sort of, I suppose, build the team around him in a way, if you get what I mean. And I think he'd take really well to being in Newcastle because there's obviously a good fan base as well. So, yeah, I mean, we're obviously surmising it, but these things can happen. It's happened plenty of times in football before, and it'll happen plenty of times in the future as well. So, I'm not writing it off. And like you said, you made a perfect point. There's light. There's a light. The door's a little bit ajar. So we'll see.
West Joe says here it's impossible to get in there going to play Champions League football. I don't think that's playing Champions League football is nothing to me in terms of like. I get it. I get it's a difficult deal. I get it's probably like 0.6% chance right now, but it's still a chance. And like I said, I brought up the point of Van Persie going to Man United. Arsenal getting Champions League football every year.
Yeah,
it's not about that. What Van Persie wants to do is challenge for the title and win the title, and that's what he did. That transfer alone, I think, won Man United that title that season. Lads, if Real Madrid want to Konate, why do we not swap Rodrigo for Konate? Both 80 million and Rodrigo for sale. I think we want to keep Konate, and again, 80 million for Konate. I don't know if that's. Would you get 80 million for Konate? I think we'd have to add a little bit more money to Konate to get Rodrigo. But again, with Rodrigo, that would only happen if Diaz were to go.
Put it this way: if Wesley Fofana is 75 million, I think Konate is.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same. If you're looking at football in terms, I don't think it should be the same price as Rodrigo.
No, I mean, I don't know. Rodrigo interests me a bit. Like, there's obviously a lot of talk about it, but I think he'll stay at Real Madrid. I really do. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think there's just so much talk around it. I think it's like one of them. He said he wanted to leave, then he said he wants to stay. Like, yeah, don't go near him. I don't really want to go near him, to be honest.
I saw a report yesterday, something about a Real Madrid player not wanting to be there. They didn't name the Real Madrid player there. And I think everyone was just sort of putting two together and getting Rodrigo. But yeah, regarding Alexander Isak, whether you're a Newcastle fan or Liverpool fan, whatever fan you are coming in, there is a slight chance for, and this is not me saying it's going to happen. This is not me. I still don't think it'll happen. I want to think it'll happen, but I still don't think it will right now, unless things change, unless reports getting even stronger. But I still think there is a chance, and it is a lot on if Isak pushes a little bit. If Newcastle are willing to sell him, which I don't think right now they are, but like I said, if Isak pushes a little bit, there could always be a light. And like I said, Liverpool this summer, when they've seen the door open a little bit, they've actually pushed it open for once, and that's it's a warning to Newcastle fans: don't completely rule it out. And I get it; it's like la 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 la. It's like that, isn't it? You don't want to hear it.
That was a
You
good
don't
point.
want to hear it.
That's a good point someone just said there, and I was just thinking that, but I didn't want to sound
Mark said it, yeah.
too arrogant about it. You know, Liverpool obviously have a humongous chance of winning the Champions League compared to Newcastle do. And that is not being, I don't think that's been arrogant.
It's been truthful. It's been truthful.
Yeah. There's a reason why we've won it 6 times. You know what I mean? That we double the amount of, you know, in fact, we've got more than anyone put together in this country, haven't we? I'm pretty sure that's correct. You know, United have got 3, Chelsea have got 2, Forest have got 2. Rather, they've got 7. That's it. Villa, 7. United, So we've almost got as many Champions Leagues as like 5 teams put together. So you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why we've won 6, and that's not being arrogant. We've just got a bigger chance of winning it. You know, last season we hit the wall of everyone was knackered. We got knocked out by the champions on penalties. So, you know, if we hadn't met PSG last season in that way, in that round, there's probably a very high chance Liverpool could have won the Champions League. But that's the way it happened. And, you know, I think next year, Slot will be definitely looking at, we're going to win that. You know, we're going to try and win that. So, yeah, I think there's just that chance, isn't there? Like, you know, if you want to go and win something, like win the Champions League, Real Madrid, like that's just a given, is it? You win it within 5 years of playing there. If you go there, you know, it's almost like Liverpool at the minute. Like if you go to Liverpool, we've been in how many finals in the last, like, what?
3, wasn't it? Was it like 3 or 4 within like 6 or 7 years?
We've been in a Europa League final. We've been in Europa League final 3
Champions League. We've lost 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
We've been in 3 Champions League finals, haven't we? Won 1.
Yeah, and Europa League as well. So in Europe, been in 4 in the last 8 years. So that's a pretty good goal in that. So the chance of you winning it with Liverpool is huge. You know what I mean? That's a lot. Like not many clubs get to that amount of finals in that amount of time. I think there's only in the last 10 years. I'm pretty sure it was like Liverpool and Real Madrid that got the most appearances or something in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously Liverpool have come short in a few of them times. You know, but. Yeah, the chances of winning it at a club like Liverpool is just humongous.
And right now as well, even more so.
As well.
I mean, we won it when we were poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, just last thing on Isak though, I think one thing that can't be forgotten as well is the team that is going to join, and that's no disrespect against Newcastle, brilliant team.
Yeah.
But going into a team that's got Wirtz now in it and Salah in it, that is a striker's dream.
Yeah.
If Isak joins Liverpool now with Wirtz and Salah, he's getting 20 goals plus in the league, easy. If he stays fit, easy. And that is an absolute striker's dream. I'd love to play up front with Wirtz and Salah behind you. That is what you exactly want. That is what football's about. That is what the elite football's about, to play with the best players and play for the best clubs and go win the best tournaments. And that's what I think. That's the only thing that'll push Isak though. But yeah, coming away from a little bit on Alexander Isak, just a little bit on Tyler Morton. Braga ready to step up the interest of Tyler Morton. Ajax, West Ham, and Club Brugge are also known to be involved. Interest from Ajax, obviously, from John Eiting. Because John Eiting has actually gone to Ajax to manage him, so he's worked with Morton already. Morton, very, very, again, I absolutely love Morton. You know, I think he deserves first team football somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that he's probably not at the level Liverpool need.
Yeah.
So he probably will get a bit like Elliot, really. He deserves first team football somewhere, and he's a very, very good player. But Braga, Ajax, West Ham, Club Brugge, pretty decent levels as well, though.
Yeah, I think I definitely shoot going under Heitinger at Ajax, and obviously the biggest club out of the 3 that has been mentioned. But yeah, I think it's a bit more of an easier transition from the Prem to Dutch football. I would say, wouldn't you say it's a bit more like there's no.
I think Ajax would be a very good move for him.
Not really any language barriers with Dutch or
Yeah.
speak English. I think Ajax is a huge club as well. I mean, yeah, he's exactly the same position as Harvey Elliott. Like he's too good to sit on the bench in terms of too good to at a young age as well. If he was like 28, 29 and he was sitting on the bench, I'd be like, yeah, sound, he can come off and do something. Like Endo doesn't.
It's like Tsimikas.
Like Tsimikas, Endo.
Happy to be on bench at his age, yeah.
Because he's 21, 22, go and get your first team football, lad. You know what I mean?
Jarell Quansah is on the way out now. That's pretty much done official. His medical today is probably announced tomorrow as a Bayer Leverkusen player. Another thing that came out today was Trey Ione has signed a new long-term contract on his 18th birthday today. So that's a good nail down a player like that. Trey Ione, very, very talented midfielder. Kevin said, would you play with Nunes? Depends which Nunes you're on about. If you're on about Darwin Nunes, no, thank you very much. Other than that, really, regarding Harvey Elliott, Newcastle obviously attentive to Harvey Elliott's situation because missing out on João Pedro, need the player that can play in that sort of role in that 10 area now. But I think, like you said, we could use Elliott as potential bargaining fee for Alexander Isak. Also from Florian Plettenberg as well, he also mentioned about Luis Diaz and Bayern Munich still wanting Luis Diaz. But Liverpool are also looking for a new left winger as well. Not just a world-class striker, they're also looking for a top-class winger, according to Florian Plettenberg. Does that confirm Diaz leaving?
I don't think Diaz will leave. I think it's just talk again. I think just because his versatility, I don't think Slot will let him go yet. This is the same old thing we've been saying. We keep saying the same things, don't we? He's on such a small contract. Like, if you want to bring a new winger in, you're almost tripling that salary, aren't you, of what Diaz is on? So I think he'll stay. I think it's just the same old what you said last week about Gakpo. Gakpo's not interested now. Let's move on to Luis Diaz. With Bayern, I can't see it, to be honest. I think if Bayern get anyone, I think they'd be looking at. I've seen they've been looking at thingy, haven't they? Bakayoko. I think everyone's looking. Not Bakayoko, yeah. Everyone's looking at him, aren't they? So I think they'll go out and get someone though, like someone sort of that. But Luis Diaz, I think he stays just because. I think another thing when he worrying about at the minute, not worrying about concern. Let's say that too much change. I don't want to end up with 10 new players and trying to embed them all in at the same time, and it doesn't really work well. We've seen it happen with many clubs, but I think 6 is the magic number, 6 or 7 transfers, magic number. I think for Liverpool. I think what we on 4. I mean, you're going to talk about the next one soon, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't mind I don't mind loads of changes if it comes over time, or because especially when we're in a position now, we don't need too many changes. Might spoil it, but Chelsea had too many changes. But I think at some point it does work with Chelsea. I think Chelsea actually have started getting a good blend. I mean, last year they showed it a little bit. They started showing a little bit more blend, but need to keep the. But then again, they're signing loads of players again this summer. So I don't know what the plan with Chelsea. I just think they want to get as many players as they can. Kevin asks here, can I ask why not playing for Nunes? I just don't think he's my kind of player, mate. As in, attitude wise, I don't know if I could play with someone with that attitude. I mean, like I said, I do play on Saturdays myself, and I manage player. So, and I couldn't. I've picked players on attitude sometimes alone in the game. So I don't think I'd play with a player with that attitude, if I'm honest. But yeah, go on, mate.
Well, Nunes has had 2 world-class managers, and he's not worked under.
Slot's giving up on him.
But he's had two managers, 2 really high-caliber managers, and he's just literally not worked under any of them. So the answer is not Liverpool, not Slot, not Klopp. The answer is Nunes is not the man.
One thing I do want to talk about tonight as well, so you'll see it in the title of the stream, is what Jurgen Klopp obviously said about the Club World Cup and how it don't agree with it being on. It's an unneeded tournament, really. Sky Sports came back at him. We're saying tell him to go play paddle ball. And then Pep Guardiola has actually said, look, we've had meetings before. We've had meetings about player welfare and things like that. So I'm on this, which side I'm on, he's basically saying.
Yeah.
And I don't like this pushing players to the absolute maximum. And then people will say, well, they're on this amount of money. It's not the point. It's not the point at all. Yes, and this is a completely different conversation. I agree. There's too much money in football. Players get paid too much regardless. Transfers are too much. Everything's too much in football in terms of prices, and it's coming away from the realness of the game. It's coming away from the grassroots of the game, how the game was built. But one thing that is a big part of that as well, and we can't forget this, is the media. The media, whilst they're criticising players being on this much, or they're criticising, oh, why do you want that much money as a club? They're just as bad with the greed. They're the ones that are wanting this sort of TV revenue. They're the ones that are pushing extra tournaments for just money. That is all money minded. The reason why the Club World Cup is on right now is all money minded. That's all it is. And it's nice for like this, like a Botafogo, Palmeiras, and things like that to play likes of Man City and stuff. And it's good for them clubs to make their money as well. I think they deserve to have a chance to make money. But right now, the time of the season, the end of the European season, where the biggest football is played, where the best football is played, it's at the wrong time of the season. I just think it's unnecessary football. It really is. And you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it when it comes to December time. You'll see Chelsea players, Man City players, they'll be knackered because they've played an extra month worth of football for no reason.
I haven't done right. I've had people ask me to do fancy on it on my channel. I've had people ask me to do content. I can tell you now, I haven't watched a single game. I haven't watched a single game. I'm not interested. I think it's just it. But I mean, I made a point of this ages ago. So because I heard about it, I was like, "What Club World Cup? What for?" I thought maybe it's like an 8-team tournament or something like that, or And I agree with the fact that Auckland and all that, and Botafogo and all that.
It's good for them, yeah.
Yeah, it's good for them, but it's just a load of crap in it. Like it's just crap. Like what's his name? Who said that about Klopp the other day? He's an absolute tool.
Sky Cover, I can't think of his name there. I know you're about.
You know what? Like, going after Klopp like that, like it's not on. But like Klopp's right, Pep Guardiola's right. It's pointless. It's a pre-season friendly tournament. That's all it is in my eyes. It's just a money making racket, and I don't like it. I just think
Even Maresca's complaining about it, and he's over there.
It's just like they've done it in America as well. 7 games have been cancelled because of weather conditions. Like it's rubbish. Like, I'm not saying it's rubbish because it's in America, but it's just rubbish, isn't it? Like my club's not in it, and maybe I feel a slightly bit different if Liverpool playing it, but I still wouldn't treat it as something that is.
I'd watch it, yeah, but I won't take it seriously.
I would think
if we get knocked out, I won't be asked.
No, exactly. I think, and if Liverpool did play in it, I don't think they'd be playing like Reece Williams and stuff like that. I don't want to see any first team players playing in that.
Yeah.
Like, train you on you and all them players, like young lads. I'm not interested. I just think they don't care about the players. Like, and I seen Karl-Heinz. I can't say his last name because what about Bayern's sporting director.
Oh, yeah.
Really famous footballer. He was like saying, "Oh, we need to do this because of players, and so much money and stuff like that." Hang on, reverse here. Let's reverse every step. The players want so much money because you pay them so much money. It's nothing to do with the players. The players get paid that much money because of the way football is. There's no price cap on wages and stuff like that. Like there should. I've said this for years. There should be so all over the world. It make football so much more competitive. In terms of other clubs, can offer like, let's say the cap's 200 grand a week. There you go. But we've obviously got the running age now. Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo's getting 176 million pounds a year or something like that. You can't. You're running age. We can't do this now. It's gone too far. But it's not on the footballers, and players' welfare should be looked after. And I did sports science at uni, and I know what it does to the body. You playing 3-4 games every 10 days, whatever. Sorry, every 10 days.
Having just played a big, tough season.
after playing 3 games for a good proportion of the year, 3-4 games, some weeks even 4 games, you're playing that for that intensity and that level. Your career is just going to be so short because you're going to hit 30 and your legs are going to fall off because your body can't take that amount of like, of exertion. Like, it's just, and I think what Pep and Klopp, who, by the way, are absolutely qualified to say that because they've both done, I think Klopp's even done on sports science or something. I think he's done like a degree on it or something like that. And I know Pep has done something similar as well. They are the 2 people on this planet that I would listen to, not some tool on Sky Sports telling Klopp to go and play paddle.
It's because they're the media. They're the ones profiting from whatever they're getting. That's what it is.
Pathetic. And like,
it's all about money.
It's all money. Like, and like, the same fellow was going, "Oh, I'm out here because it's my daughter's birthday and I can't see it." Well, do you know what you do, lad? Take a week off. No one cares.
You know what's so funny? They actually shoot themselves in their own foot. We're going about like Premier League being the best league in the world and want the best football. Want to see the best football. Champions League, the best football. Premier League, the best football. When we're knackering players out and when we're grinding them down to potentially get injuries, if I'm honest, we're going to lose the best football.
Yeah, exactly.
The football's going to start getting hurt because players are not going to wanting to play. You look at people are complaining now about Liverpool last season because we've let the foot off the gas. We were fucking knackered.
Yeah.
So if you're going to see the best football week in, week out, you've got to think about player welfare. It's got to come at some point first. We don't need to have a Nations League. That's just another glorified friendly tournament as well. Rubbish. We don't need to have a Club World Cup going on right now. Maybe like spread it out, like a Club World Cup spread out. I don't know how they can do it. If they're on a Club World Cup, I absolutely get it. I love Botafogo and Palmeiras and Auckland City. I love these teams playing, Al Ahly and things like that. It's brilliant to see, and I like everyone coming together. But the best football in the world, and it is European football. Don't do it at the end of a European football season.
Yeah, just the only way I could see to get around it, right? And this is probably the most sensible thing because they're going to continue to do it. I know it's only every 4 years for World Cup, right? Why don't they just do it and make the season different? What I mean by that is start the season in July, finish it in, let's say,
April,
March,
April,
Finish it early, give the players a month off, then do it in July as a pre-season instead of a pre-season.
Yeah.
And then instead of like, oh, you've won the Champions League, that's the reason you get into it and stuff like that. Why don't you have like a sort of system where it goes on the point system of like, you've won this, you've won the Carabao Cup, you've won
how they did in the cups, leagues, and European competitions together. Yeah.
Do it like that, then possibly have 4 representatives from a country, so it gives a bit more coverage of that country, and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's going to cover pre-season friendlies anyway. Yeah, like you're saying,
and just have it as a pure knockout. Don't have, like I don't know. Is it a knockout at the minute? I don't think it is. Is it?
It's turned into knockout now, and it's a knockout now. It was a group on it, groups.
Yeah, but just have it as a pure knockout, right? And then seed it in the teams who are the top, right? So, like, let's say, for example, City play PSG in the first game. That eliminates City. You got PSG still in, right? And then the next game, just have it like that. And then there's only a few games where it's knockout games. If you go out at the start, fair enough. Whatever. You don't care. And then just have it like that. And then you can go and continue the rest of your pre-season, wherever you're doing your pre-season tour. And whoever wins it, they don't have whoever's going to the end, whoever's getting to the end, they don't need a pre-season because they're playing that tournament. That's the way.
Yeah.
Instead of whatever this is now, it's rubbish.
So, and you can still play this tournament, like you said, as a pre-season, but then play it in a different country. It don't matter, like, because we go on tours anyway. We're going on an Asian tour this time, so it's all right to play in different countries, allow other countries to see their teams. And I absolutely love clubs going across to different countries because I think everyone in the world should be able to see their team play at some point and give them a chance to see their team play. So quick question: what does Klopp think of it? Well, he said it's like the worst idea put into football, basically, and he also said that there's going to be injuries next season that we've never seen before. They're going to get injuries next season because of this. He's not happy about it. And like I said, Pep Guardiola said, he's been with player welfare meetings about things like this. And he basically said, what's stand time on it all. But it's just about time, player welfare needs to be. And it's easier said than done saying, look how much they've won. It's not the point. It's just not the point. These are human beings at the end of the day. Yeah, and I think they should put a cap on wages. I think they should cap on transfers, a cap on wages. That's the thing. But what is ruining football is sheer greed, and owners, media, everything that's in football, the power that's in football is all greed minded. It's all money minded. I can't stand it. We're losing the game in front of us, but we will watch it. I watched the Club World Cup, like you said, and if Liverpool was in it, I probably would watch it if I'm honest.
Yeah, I would watch.
Is that a bad thing not watching it because I'm giving in to him, so I'm watching it? But I don't think it's going to get the coverage it thinks it's going to get because by teams what in it, I don't anyone else watch it. It's not like Champions League.
No,
I'll watch Champions League if my teams are in it or not. You know what I'm saying?
I'll watch it if I'd watch it Liverpool in it. It sounds very hypocritical of me that what we've just both said, but I wouldn't be bothered if we went out in the first. That's
what I'm saying. I won't be asked.
Okay,
I care more about the Carabao Cup.
But like. Another thing is what I want to just before we finish on this point. How patronising was he to Klopp? What was that about? I think that
go play paddleball. What the fuck is that question? What is that? What is that statement?
Do you think that Jurgen? Do you think Jurgen Klopp would be leader of the Red Bull group? Do you think he's very unhappy about Salzburg getting through? Lad, he probably doesn't give a flying shit about it. Like it's just that. Honestly,
Jurgen Klopp cares more about the players.
Yeah, that for me, it's so rude the way he said that, Like, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but Sky Sports are meant to be unbiased, and Sky Sports are meant to be...
Condescending, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very, very patronising. And like, I seen a tweet and someone said, are you going to go and tell Pep Guardiola to go and scram loads of tapas?
Yeah, do the same thing, because, yeah. It's
like...
It's absolute joke, go play paddleball. Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Big up Dave and Naj and the chat. Remember, do your fundamentals and tap that like sub on the way in, people. Thank you so much, DB. Nice to see you tonight, mate. You never walk on as well. Yeah, like DB said there, if you are in tonight, whether you're a Newcastle fan, a Liverpool fan, whatever kind of fan you are, hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 1K subs. And like I said, if the channel gets bigger, the content gets bigger and better. Rules on the FIFA club in the US, you have to wait 30 minutes. If there is a lightning, it goes back to recount 30 minutes past until it gives it all clear. Then a lightning strike happens. And I agree with like keeping players safe. It's got to be safe. If it is looking like it's going to lighten, obviously it's a dangerous weather to happen. I think there were Joe. Was it how long they were in the other day for Chelsea game? Because I know Maresca wasn't happy about it. I think it was just clouds. But then again, you are playing with health there, and if something does happen with lightning, that's the last thing you want to happen. But maybe play it in a different part of the country. I don't know. There must be some way around it. I just think it's just the wrong time of the year.
Why put it in the country, right? I know why they put it in America, by the way, because it's money, right?
Yes, yeah.
Why put it in a country where you know the weather's going to be like that in this time of the year? Like, it baffles me that, like, you know it's going to happen. Hence, the MLS season's played at a completely different time as well.
Yeah.
When does that start? It starts.
It's on now. MLS.
Yeah. When does it start? Does it start in November?
It starts. Yeah. How long has it gone on now? It must start. I think it starts about Feb or something like that.
It's weird. I don't know how it starts, but I remember he's on Reed. Didn't he come back for a loan, didn't he, in January that time from the MLS? I don't know how it works. I don't know. It starts. It ends in November, doesn't it? It's all over the summer.
Could do, yeah. I mean, I think it probably works around the NFL, to be honest, because NFL starts about September and ends in January. I think it works around that because they want coverage for both. But America is a money-minded country. It's all about adverts, sponsorships, and this is why a lot of American owners over here, including ours, are money-minded.
Yeah,
and they have put money first before anything else. And I don't want it to get to that.
Nothing wrong with making money, but it's the way they do it.
Yeah, it's principles as well at the same time.
The way they're doing it.
But yeah, it is a situation that's happening now. Also, the Club World Cup is happening now. And like I said, if Liverpool won it, I'd probably watch it, but I wouldn't care if we got knocked out, if I'm honest. Like I said, I'd rather win the Charity Shield.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd be fuming. It would say Liverpool were in it, right? And I seen City's lineup the other day. It was like, I can't remember the play. It was stacked anyway. And Chelsea's was stacked whoever they were playing the other day as well. I mean, they weren't obviously going through to the next round and stuff, but I was just like looking at the team. I was just like, wow, like them players have played 50 odd games this season, and you've got them playing another. How many games is it? Is it 10? I think it's 10 games, isn't it?
Well, they play what, 3 group games? Is it 3 group games? It's just like a normal, it's like a normal World Cup.
It's 2 legs, isn't it?
It's now. I don't think it's 2 legs now. No, it's just a straight knockout now. I think.
Was it 2 legs?
So no, just one game each in the stages. So it's like 3 games in the group stages, and now it's the final stages. So you got like Benfica just not Chelsea just not Benfica out. PSG are through. Bayern Munich are through. Palmeiras are through. And then over the weekend you've got Inter, Fluminense, Man City, Al Hilal, Real Madrid, Juventus, Dortmund, Monterrey. So, and then it goes into PSG, Munich, and Palmeiras against Chelsea.
Can I ask a quick question? How are Dortmund in it? How are Dortmund?
They got to the final Champions League, didn't they?
Is that how they're in it?
I don't know. I presume so. Something like that. They must. I couldn't even tell. I don't know how they've actually worked it out, to be honest. So, yeah, I thought it was Feb. DB said their MLS runs Feb to October, but they're having a mid-season break for Club World Cup. I'm sure they're playing, DB. I'm sure the MLS won last night or the night before. I don't think they're having a break. Unless they were supposed to have a break, but I'm sure they played Saturday night MLS. Yeah, MLS. Look, Saturday night MLS games. I thought they did because they play early Sunday morning, don't they? Like early hours in the morning and sometimes Sunday night.
Weird.
So MLS is still going on, but yeah, it is Feb to October. I thought it was. It's like a summer sport, isn't it, over there?
It's Miami just in it because Messi plays for him. Is that?
I think that's it. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it.
Oh, it's funny.
I don't know why Inter Miami are in it.
When Al Nassr in it as well.
Al Nassr was in it, yeah. I think they're out.
Why are they in it?
Was he in it? No, were they in it? No, I think Al Hilal was in it, wasn't they? I don't think Al Nassr was in it. Was Al Nassr in it? I'm sure they were in it.
Firmino's one was in, wasn't it?
Let's have a look.
They won the Champions League, didn't they? The Asian Champions League, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were in it. I know they were in it.
No, Al Nassr wasn't in it. Al Hilal was in it, and Al Ali was in it. But Al Hilal is Egyptian.
Al Hilal is
Al Hilal, Saudi Arabia.
That's Phoebe's Firmino's team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Green badge.
Portugal in it. They won the Copa Libertadores, I think. Portugal. Yeah, I don't know why Palmeiras are in it as well. They got 2 Brazilian teams. I don't know. What did Palmeiras win? I know Portugal won the Copa Libertadores.
Don't know. Let's not talk about it because it's just annoys me.
Hey, I brought it up. I've got to talk about it sometimes. But yeah, I think the player welfare does need to start getting put first at some point in the future. And I do think money in football is ruining football, and it's going to be fast become a place just. It's just going to be a place that's going to be about advertisements and sponsorships and money. I don't want it to be that. It would need to keep the integrity of the game. I absolutely love the grassroots football. I love the pyramid of football, English football. Like I said, I'm a grassroots manager / player myself. And so I absolutely love the grassroots. I love seeing clubs do well from the bottom. And another thing I don't like as well, clubs being run wrongly. Because I know Sheffield Wednesday are having the problems now. Markham are having some problems as well. And it's not nice to see. We will need to keep the sport for the people that make the sport. And it's just a shame. Ant said that Inter Miami won nothing, Salzburg as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Inter Miami were just on it for the sake of Messi. I do.
Was it Austrian League? Sturm Graz, wasn't
it? Yeah, Sturm Graz. I'm sure they won it, yeah. Because Salzburg have dropped off a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Who was it we're doing well? Yeah, Sturm Graz. I'm sure Sturm Graz won it last year.
And Thingy did it. Thingy been doing well, haven't they? What they call? Oh, what's the name of that team now in Austria? There's another team.
Last Klins.
Could be that. They've been doing all right. There's been a couple.
They've done all right for a few seasons. I think they've turned off again a little bit actually now. It used to be Salzburg dominating, Rapid Vienna and Sturm Graz are the ones that push them. Austria Vienna are not the same anymore. They used to be like decades ago, a couple of decades ago. It's now usually Sturm Graz, Rapid Vienna and Salzburg, your top 3. Last Linz did push them. I don't know what they did this season, Lathlins, but I know they dropped off because they've been in European competitions, haven't they, Lathlins?
Yeah, they're in the conference, aren't they?
Yeah. Wait until this season it's virtual NFL style. I hope so, not mate. Because all the new stuff are coming in for that, and all the halftime team talks and the fucking interview. Imagine getting sent off and getting fucking microphone in front of your face. You know, it's so funny. It might be good content. It might be entertaining, but we're not thinking about the players. We're not thinking about keeping it real and raw. Like, why do we need to see inside? You know, we love the documentaries. If I'm honest, we love the documentaries, the Amazon documentaries, the Netflix documentaries on these teams. But why do we need to see it every single week? I can't see Klopp will love it. Klopp would lose his mind with this news if he was still manager.
You know what? I don't think it'll happen for long because the players just refuse to do it. I think football is one of them games where you're so invested in playing it, and it's so quick and so high paced. You've got to be so focused to play it. I think if you got sent off or you get subbed off, you'd lose your rag. Wouldn't you?
You see people going absolutely crazy because of being subbed off. Because I think imagine being interviewed straight away for that.
I think players just refuse to do it.
But what you're risking there is players saying things they don't mean because they're fuming.
Yeah, imagine Bruno Fernandes.
It'll be box office for us, but we've got to think about the players and.
Actually, you know, it can be really embarrassing, like defamation of character and stuff like that. And
yeah. Like he could say something about the manager he didn't want to say because he's fuming with him at the time.
Like a narrative can be pushed as well, can't it? So, let's say, for example, like, you know, we know that Bruno Fernandes has got a very very short fuse. You know, he swears at the ref. He calls the ref a knobhead. You see him call him a knobhead and stuff like that. You know, imagine what he's going to say to reporters sticking a microphone in his face. Like,
yeah. And what? Also, think about it. Do you think this makes managers rethink their substitutions?
I don't think it's good. I think it's shit. I honestly think, it's the shittest thing ever. I don't want to. Do you know what I'd rather see? Referees getting interviewed after the game. I'd rather see that and go, why have you done that decision? Why did you do that? Rather than like having to go away and do all this crap and, you know, why did you send him off, ref? Just ask them questions. You know, like you do to players, like and managers. Or why did you sub him off? Why did you do this? You're in the games. Do it to managers. Another thing to the referees. Another thing as well. You know, I've seen people commenting saying about this whole like not halftime. The substitutions do the interviews and stuff like that. You know, people are saying, "Oh, but they do it after the game." Yeah, they don't do it right after the game. It's like 5-10 minutes after the game.
Yeah, you get a time to cool down a little bit first, yeah, and gather your thoughts,
and then they go and do it. And just saying this, how many interviews have we seen after games where the players, old managers, have had time to cool down and they still lose the rag then? So
yeah.
Oh, you'd be fuming. I think players will just refuse to do it though, because it's just shit, innit? It's
like Anne today. Imagine being 4-0 down to your rivals. Imagine losing to Man United to be brought off or something, and having a microphone stuck in your face. It's just trying. I mean, it's like the other week when I saw Saka get a lot of hate because he didn't want to talk to. He was at F1, wasn't he? And he got a lot of hate, but let the guy enjoy his holiday, man.
Yeah, just leave
the last thing he wants to do, he wants to go and enjoy the F1. He wants to be away from the cameras, away from the microphones, away from football. Doesn't want to talk about anything to media. He's enjoying his time, and he gets a microphone stuck in his face. It's like they're not robots. They're not robots. Saka is enjoying himself. He's enjoying his F1. Stop sticking a microphone in his face, and then having a got him for not responding.
They ask him like rubbish questions as well, like, "Oh, why did you fall over there?
What did you have for tea?"
Like they ask him like things in the game. "Oh, did you think you fell over there?" Like, do you know, it's like a on the peripherally of a decision or something. Like, sit down a little bit easy or something like that. To be like, they just go for you on it. Well, they do it all the time. Like, I think you went down a bit easy there. Fuck off.
What are you wanting from? Yeah, I did. I cheated actually.
Yeah,
dived. I actually dived.
Yeah, I dived.
Elliot, doing Elliot.
Yeah.
I dived. Never went off.
Imagine like going up to someone. Like I always think back. Like we don't really have. We still have them characters, but I think everyone's a bit more behaved now, in terms of like swearing and stuff like that and going mad. But imagine if Duncan Ferguson or Graham Souness or Roy Keane, any of them hard nuts, Vinny.
Roy Keane would have gotten skits, wouldn't
Imagine them getting sent off and getting a microphone. Did it kill him? The microphone would have been shoved down the throat of the reporter. It's a recipe for disaster, I think. The players are just, it'll get to a point where players are just like throwing the mics and just going, yeah, shut off, not doing that. Like, it's just.
The players, yeah, they're getting treated like robots, I'm honest. They're getting treated like robots. And at some point, players are going to refuse to do it.
Yeah, they'll just be like,
they're going to refuse to do it. But we are going to be watching football next season. So, yeah, hopefully we get some good watch-alongs going on this. But we're not doing any watch-alongs for the interviews, put it that way. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. Make sure you do hit that like button, hit subscribe button if you haven't already. We are closing in 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, everyone that has liked and subscribed so far. Hope all Newcastle fans are okay now that we've reassured you in terms of what we think about Isak, and they don't need to fall out of the Isak situation at the moment. Newcastle fans, it is just links. Remember that it's just links. But if we do sign him, don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. Thank you for watching tonight, guys. Hope you have a great